And also, I would like to request our participants, please keep your mic and camera off during the entire session and don't share your screen at any time. And use our chat box in the Gmail to post your queries or doubts to the speaker regarding the talk. We will deliver all of your questions during the Q&A session at the end of the event. And please do not post anything except questions. And also, I would like to inform that we will be circulating an attendance form during the session. Please fill the form. And thank you. Thank you for joining us. And sir, it's all over to you. I will stop presenting my screen and requesting you to present your screen.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice introductions. So yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't found it. Where can I share? Can you guide me?
So in the right of the software, it's
Yes, I got it, sir. Yeah, thank you. Can you see my PPT?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for the nice introductions. And yes, so guys, I'm going to talk about blockchain technology in digital transformation era. So what is exactly digital transformation? As we know nowadays, every government, like government of India, they are forcing that, not forcing that, they are implementing everything is digitalization. And this COVID situation there, we are also looking for doing to all things is more based on mobile phone and those digital things, right? So how our blockchain can be go to impact and give the better result, or how can we play a good role in blockchain technology? Those we're going to talk about today. So firstly, just I'm going to give that a small introduction about to the what is the digital transformation era means. So we have coming on the digital storms, there is exponential technologies are fueling these storms. For example, big data analytics, sensor actuators, they are collecting the data and sending those data to transforming and analyzing purpose. We are using the mobile phone, mobile technology, and that cloud computing where is all stores that so many data, and we can use in daily routine, daily date, Google Drive and Dropbox. So many cloud computing, cloud-based servers are available. Natural user interface we can use in their things, and ubiquitous connectivity. We require the Wi-Fi connectivity from everywhere. We are whenever without Wi-Fi, in this time, these situations, we cannot survive. That we can say that like even sometimes some things there is making that like we can stop eating the food, but we cannot stop using the Wi-Fi and networking things. So these are some technologies. They can be trends to the integrate the digital and physical experiences. They can connect, like these are connected, make the internet of everything, that automations of knowledge work and big data and advanced data analytics things we can using nowadays. And we have the social metrics, anything as a service we require, then we need to connect those things, our technologies. So how can they change in our leverage our digital life, that is improve the experiences, enhance the productivity, find the new business model, and give the new business ideas to be change our lifestyle. So that is the coming the digital storm. We are living in a very digital storm or digital life every day. So in that situation, what is the digital transformation? So the terms digital transformation has been used to describe anything from creating a fully responsive mobile website to developing a social media strategy. But in reality, true, the transformation need to involve much more than just an end of the product. How is these things? Like, let's check it, how this transformation is coming to in our life and coming to changing our lifestyle. So first, in the beginner stage, we are using to digital bolt-on. where we have the digital seeds. We provide that innovation, customer outcomes, and collaboration related things. Then in this is our intermediate life. Digital transformation is intermediately where we are built on the outside, within the, not only the customer, not customer here. Customer means we are the customers, what we are accessing in digital form. Second, we have to the cultural collaboration and strong focus on the customer outcomes and durable innovation. Culture is the reinforced. And now what is the going to up to advanced feature? And advanced, we can say that when digital interruption is coming, sorry, digital disruption is coming. So where we ensure that digital is part of our DNA, that is the everyone's job, with the inherent the customer's advocacy. Collaborative, we have default inside and out partnership, drive the ecosystem based businesses. So without any infrastructure nowadays, we can use with the mobile phone or with the internet, without any need to infrastructure, we can handle our own work, or we can establish one own company. So these are the whole digital transformation development is going on to all around us, and we are living in this intermediate stage, digital transformation stage. So digital transformation has some terms and pillars. Like terms are like they have the business innovations, they have must to digital disruptions, digital strategies. They create the age, and what the digitally we are going to involve. We are going to launch any product, anything. So how can we develop the whole strategies, make the strategies digitally? We have advertisement and so many things. So these digital experiences and disruptive technologies that can involve in this managing this whole digital transformation, that is like drone, we have the blockchain, AI, artificial intelligence, those things. And then finally we get it that this terms like disruptive innovation. So how can we, what the pillars are using to build this whole terms can be involved, those pillars. So these pillars are empower the employees, engages the customers, can transform the products, what type of requirement of the customers, and we make the busy to our customers, our people. They cannot go outside of the what they are what they are looking for it. So and then we need to do the all things is optimize our operations. We need to do the very fast processing those things. So these are the some pillars of the digital transformations. Now digital transformation components. What the basic components of the digital transformation? First, we have to trust. We must to build trust and protect your organization or our organizations with the data and people. We make that okay. Like for example, Facebook or any social media, they are promising that they are not going to compromise with the third party. And whenever you join or you order any product base or any website, they have first condition, they're mentioning that they not going to share your information or share your personal information with the others. So that is the organization must be protect their customers, their users data. And second, we have to collaboration. We create at the productivity workplace to embrace the diverse work style things. Third, we have to mobility. Enable your people to get things done anywhere. Currently, I'm sitting in Korea. Then from the Korea, I can access anything, whatever I want from the India. Then I can access it things. So that is make the mobility. Intelligence, like provide the insight to drive the faster and better business decisions. And analytics. Our organization or digital transformation things who is using this digital transformation, they must be analyzed and everything, what digitally data they are receiving and what type of use this data is going on. So transform your organization or company based on data into rich visual and analytics for the better decisions. So as an example, we can say that sometimes the people say that learn from others' mistakes, right? So in this situation, we say that we are trying to teach our system, our organizations learn from others' data. Nowadays, we have huge amount of data is available on the internet free of the cost. So we do the analysis, those data, and then we can provide what we can make some prediction and some decision to what type of data, what type of things people want. We don't need to do the survey for example, if I'm going to start some digital firm. So for that, that digital firm, for example, that's for clothing. So for that, I don't need to go to a market and find out what type of clothing people likes. I don't need to do those surveys. There's all surveys are available in the internet, social media, and everything. We get the access the data from there, and we analyze that, and then I can use my digital firm. I will launch successfully to what people wants. So that is the data analytics things. Second, we have to, there's must do's for digital strategies. We have the 5 steps. First one, that is called the step back. That is why it's important to look at your business first from the distance. So for example, if we see anything is very closer, we just target one thing. We cannot see clear picture after surrounding those data. So it's better we just go to step back and take a more clear picture, take a all around surrounding data also according to what we are required. So that is the first step of digital strategy. That is we must to step back. Second, we have to analyze. So there is so much data about our business and digital things. So why not use those things? Just I give the example, we learn from we make it our digital transformation for our organizations from the others data. We don't require to collect own data things. So third, we have to plan. When you make a plan, you have something to fall back on later. Fourth, we have to writing down the plan is good and testing is better. So whatever plan we are making for our digital transformation and digital strategies, we need to test it, that is correct or not. And after testing, if we get it the better result, then we can implement it. Same thing we are doing in our research also. For what we are doing, we just first we are collecting the so many background studies. Then we are analyzing those things, what research is done, what not done, how can we improve those researches, and then we plan it and we do the simulation. And if simulation is successfully, then we're going to implement in the real life. That is the way of the whole implementing that our research. Same thing we can use for the digital strategies. So this is whole digital transformation is going on surrounding us. So now we go to talk about how can it will be inbuilt in the blockchain. But before that, we know what is the actually blockchain. So as we know, everyone have this idea that blockchain is decentralized, distributed, and secure database, right? Ledger. So that is the basic of idea of coming to what is the exactly blockchain. So let's see what is the current hype cycle in the blockchain technology till 2020. Here we can see that is the light one is less than 2 years. Research is going on. Playout will be reached in this light is sky blue 2 to 5 years things. Here we can set a smart contract, consensus, and blockchain asset tokenization. These are the some research is some plateau will be reached out, and then 5 to 10 years is going to more highest one, blockchain platform tokenization. And here we can find it decentralized identities. So that is the growth and hype cycle of going on surrounding all of us current time in the blockchain technology. So let's find the history. Where is it started? The blockchain. Blockchain is started, as we know, is introduced as a Bitcoin, as a cryptocurrency, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system by the Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008, right? So they make it no reliance on the trust, digital signatures, peer-to-peer network, proof of work, public history of transaction, honest independent nodes, control the majority of CPU computing power, and nodes vote with the CPU computing power and rules and incentives enforced through the consensus mechanism. So that is the basic idea of the Satoshi Nakamoto after that, after when is it started, like 2008, after that there is a lot of changes is happened. This one we started for to replacing, seeing he proposed as a replacing to the bank, replacement of the bank. So he said he just introduced as a cryptocurrencies, like crypto form on a digital currency things. But now in this we are trying to use this application in a this blockchain in different applications. So how is doing things? So what is the blockchain? Let's overview. That is, blockchain is distributed ledger technology that enables digital asset to be transacted and traded in near and real time. So the record, it keeps the permanent and irreversible. So that is the basic idea. This, I believe that everyone who's heard about the blockchain, Bitcoin, they know this idea things. So what exactly? Blockchain, they permit the transaction to be gathered into the blocks and recorded, and cryptographically chains the blocks in the chronological order and allows the resulting ledger to be accessed by the different servers. That is the complete idea of the blockchain. So next, like, what is the backend of the Bitcoin? So as we know that the blockchain, everyone, when I, like 2 years, 3 years before, when I went to any conference anywhere, for the talk, whenever I ask about to anyone know about the blockchain, what is the blockchain, nobody says that, nobody raised that, okay, I know, yeah, they mentioned that they don't know what is the blockchain. But when I talk about anybody know about the Bitcoin, everyone say that yes, because the Bitcoin is they are making in the cryptocurrencies way, so they know about the application, but they don't know the what is the process. So Bitcoin is work based on the blockchain technologies. That blockchain, that we can say that this blockchain is the base of the Bitcoin. So as a backend of Bitcoin, an electronic asset as well as digital currency, a network of computers keep track of Bitcoin payments and add them an ever-growing list of all the Bitcoin payments. So that have been made called the Bitcoin blockchain. So the file that contains data about all the Bitcoin transaction is often called a ledger. So Bitcoin value is created through the transaction processing referred as the mining, which is performed by the distributed processor called the nodes of the peer-to-peer network. So that is the basic concept of the Bitcoin. Here that comes to one word is like mining. So what is the mining? So mining evolution, it is coming to mining is the process whereby the value is created through the transaction processing that occurs on the nodes of the network. And today there is almost no cryptocurrencies to be made through the traditional home mining. So like application specific integrated circuit has been designed strictly for the mining Bitcoins. And group of the miners have the formed mining pools, with the each being the paid their relative shares of their contribution to the work performed, or what the work performed. That means they are approving, they are joining to transactions, verifications or validation things. So that is the basic of mining things, blockchain mining. So now in the blockchain in business, we can say that how it using in a business value added for the blockchain in $176 billion by 2025 and 3.1 trillion by 2030. So that is the assumptions to about the blockchain prediction. As we know nowadays is like Bitcoin has very huge, very high price in share market. So that is going on. So but that is cryptocurrencies thing. But nowadays we are started to implementing this blockchain technology to different application, like blockchain in IoT, blockchain in AI, blockchain in software engineering, blockchain in self-driving car. Those things we are already trying to implementing and try to make it more best result of the blockchain technology. make it the different applications. So these are the application sectors where we are using currently. We're using to blockchain technology. 30% we're using in the banking and finance, 13% government and public goods, and 12% insurance, using in insurance, 8 healthcare. And for example, in here that not we're talking about to manufacturing, energy, and those things. And as I know that is the Estonia is one European country. He already built his whole system, government system, private sector, everything on the blockchain, and it is providing to the digital ID card, and digital PR. We can say that digital PR that can be we sitting in here, and we can build our own company and banking system to we can open everything in Estonia. So that is the whole system, and that is providing the worldwide people. Anyone can be apply and anyone can be access those things. So that thing we can think like governments and countries are now believing on the blockchain system, and they are trying to implement whole system of the government, private sector, banking sector, everything in on the blockchain based. That's thing. So like 8% they are using to media, entertainment, and guiding and gaming section for the blockchain. So there is a one example, and we have to. I'm just doing partnership with the using the blockchain based crowdfunding to collecting the data and to collecting the story, listening story, and making the like producing the movie. For the movie production, I make the blockchain based. I'm working on that project. So blockchain based movie production. There is a other movies. We create the story, writer, singer, everyone they will be involved in the our blockchain server, and they can be listen and listen the story, and they involved in the movie, and they can we can also arrange the money based on the crowdfunding things. So that type of some applications we are already working on it, on things is going on. So these are the blockchain in business. Reason wise we can see that as a reason that is the blue color North America, that is the most highest until 2025. They are planning to be build 39.7 billion $US going to invest in this whole world in this blockchain technology. So now let's understand the basic concept of the blockchain. Till now we're talking about their applications and what is the blockchain and what is the Bitcoin, but let's start to in depth, going to little more depth about to basic concept of the blockchain technology. So blockchain has the pillars. That is the first we has talked about to the digital records. They are second, exchanging the digital asset, that's called the token, executing the smart contract. There is the ground rules and term and condition recorded in the code, and distributed network, they are execute contract and monitor compliances, and in the outcomes they are automatically validate without the third party things. So blockchain pillars like distributed ledger, there's chain of blocks which one is storing data on the wide range of information where each one is linked to the previous block, so forming as a chronological chain of data uploaded onto the blockchain. So that is they store the whole information, what data communication is, what transaction, what type of transmission is going in the one network. They stored all thing in a blockchain in that ledger. Second, they using to the cryptography. For the cryptography, as we know, they are created, the blocks are cryptographically logged into the chain. There is a meaning that the blockchain record are immutable. It is impossible to delete or alter the information stored in the block. So for this, they are using to hash function and those things. Third, we have to the consensus. There is information can be added on the blockchain only if all are or more than 51% is defined member are participating in the network agree on the correctness of information or transmission, whatever their data, whatever the network is building for that applications based on the applications thing. Sorry. Fourth, we have to the smart contract. That is the agreement in the form of computer programs when the terms and conditions are of agreement can be programmed, designed to self-execute themselves. And the main goal of a smart contract is to remove the need of intermediary to enable the anonymous parties to conduct business over the internet. So for example, that a smart contract, as I give the basic example, like nowadays we are doing the online shopping, right? So for example, we are going to order something from some shop with the help of the some application like Swiggy and those things, whatever in India is going using in the like Swiggy. So what we do that we are select our what we want to eat, we just select it, and whatever the payment is mentioned, we are agree that payment. We are not going to bargain there. We are not going to reduce the money, and we are not going to change anything. So we are, that means we are agree about that fixed amount what is displaying in the our mobile phone during the our online our online order for the food. So that is also one simple example of smart contract things. Similar in the blockchain smart contract means when we develop the network, so we are agree, we are make the some rule and regulation, who is agree with those rule regulation, that guys going, that node or that member going to be involved in that network. Otherwise, if he is not agree in the smart contract, we can make the fix the our token or maybe our reward, like okay, I'm this is my price and I want to be used, if I am going to approve anything, I must be received this much amount of reward back. So that is type of some smart contract is the fixed value. For here now we go to one by one, that is distributed ledger. There are multiple ledgers, but bank in centralized ledger we have to there are multiple ledgers, but bank holds the golden record. There is a client B must reconcile its own ledger against of bank and must convince bank of the true state of the bank ledger if discrepancy is happened. So, and in the blockchain there is a, we are using distributed ledger, there is a one ledger and all nodes, node A, B, C, D, E, everyone has the same information. So if one is going to deny, then other one node is going to be a cheated, trying to be a modifying the data. So then other nodes can be so that no, you are talking about the wrong things. So all nodes agree to a protocol that determines the true state of the ledger at any point in the time. So the application of this protocol is sometimes called the achieving consensus. So that is the process of distributed ledger, where user initiate the transaction using the digital signatures, and users broadcast the transaction to the nodes, and one or more nodes begin the validating each transactions, and nodes aggregate validate the transaction into blocks. Then it will be modified to nodes broadcast blocks to the each other, and consensus protocol used with the help of, then we are block reflecting the true statement. True state is the chain is prior block. So the degree of trust between users determines the technological configuration of the distributed ledger. That is our whole concept about the distributed ledger that we using in the blockchain technology. Second, we have using blockchain use the cryptography. So as an initiation or broadcasting of transaction, they use the digital signature and public private key. For the validation of transaction, they use the proof of work and certain alternatives. And finally, we'll be creating the chain, making the chain or creating the blocks. For that purpose, they are using to hash function. So for the hash function is the most important thing, because we are talking to creating connectivity. We're going to store those information on our server and those all nodes. So for the chaining block, we are using the hash function. The hash function process is the random hash function. So in practice, we hope that SHA-256 behave like a random oracle. So there is the SHA secure hash authentications. So S256, I forgot the SHA full form. So yeah, then text file we're using 0 to 2 to the power 56 nonce minus 1 nonce. So the calculation, if we made all computers on the world compute SHA to 56, so it will take 40 multiply with 14.10 to the power 9 years to find x1 not equal to x2, that is stand for the SH256 equal to 256. So what I'm talking about here, we as know that those cryptocurrencies is creating. So if we have create any hash function, this function we are talking about the Bitcoin point of view. This hash function is using in the Bitcoin things. So if in the Bitcoin, when we are when anyone try to encrypt or decrypt the informations things, so it will take that much time to for the decrypt to that one particular block. So that's the response to every, this is response to every unique query with a truly random response chosen for the uniformly from the its output domain. So if a query is repeated, it respond the same way every time the query is submitted. So that is not possible in very easy form to decrypt that block. That's why this Bitcoin and those things are going to be a huge secure, the assuming things. So how it's work, the block, as we talk about the block hash function will work as a, we have to this block, there is a transaction, multiple transactions will store in the one block. They have a one previous created block and multiply with this nonce, then it will create the new block. So that is the whole block creation, how do they create the blocks. Second, we have the third one, we have to consensus. As we know that consensus is the mutual agreement between the nodes in the one network, like more than 51% nodes are agree with any some particular transactions, that is they verified and they validate that transactions. So consensus has a unstructured proposals, like we have those relates, Hashgraph, IOTA, Tangle, Skycoin, Tezos, Libra. These are some consensus mechanism they are using. So this have two type of consensus. Currently we have permissionless and permission or decentralized and consortium. So decentralized, permissionless we are using in Bitcoin, Ethereum, somewhat decentralized we also using the Ripple and Stellar. These are the some more cryptocurrencies. And consortium is the BFT, like Byzantine fault tolerance mechanism or fault tolerance consensus mechanism or algorithms. So here is the, these are the some example of consensus they using for the particular some different applications, like proof of work, their miners try to solve the problem to verify it. Proof of stake, user is encouraged to spend more. So these are the applications, these are the proof of work or consensus algorithms that can be used in different mechanism according to our applications. We can modify things. So I'm not going to read the all, I'm just giving the two basic more basic things that using in the Bitcoin and other applications, that is the proof of work and proof of stake. Where proof of work, that's member of blockchain network, they compete to add the next block of information and a list of solving the cryptographic puzzle and requires large amount of energy, consuming of the lot of electricity and computational power. Then for replacement of proof of work, they started to one another consensus algorithm that is called proof of stake. So the participants that hold the correct block containing the fraudulent transaction get their block added to the chain and get rewarded, but the participants whose block turns out to be fraudulent and get punished, and amount of bet that they had put get reduced their balance. So what they are doing, the shareholders with the bigger share in this network have the bigger chance to being a selected. So that is the basic drawbacks of this is proof of stacks. So fourth one, we have to smart contract. Like smart contract, as I talk about that is a legally binding, digitally manifest, an agreement with the power of re-engineer itself dynamically depending on the terms and conditions of the market and commercial context to the which it applies via the implementation of implicitly strictly encoded set of the rules. So why we need the smart contract? Removal of interventions and oversight, example from legal counsel, reduction is in associated legal cost, fees and process with the time, respect and speed the contract recreation and executions, and automate the transfer of funds via computer recognizable definable events flexibility in the contract. So these are the why we are using the smart contract in the blockchain. So that is the process of a smart contract. The stakeholders agree on the contract. There is rule or programmed. Stakeholders with the rules, if they are agree, then they can involve in the network, and rules are saved in the nodes. And now nodes execute with a smart contract. Whenever they do any work, they are executing things. So smart contract useful in many occasions to replace human interventions. Example, in case of intelligent vehicles on intersections to seamlessly travel in the region once contract pay has been assigned. Recommendation: no more 200 lines of code at this point, and it is risk the code remains vulnerable and can be corrupted possibility. So there is a two type of smart contract. One is deterministic and non-deterministic. The blockchain network, the facilitating the smart contract has sufficient information to make the decision. For example, blockchain-based crowdfunding. Second, non-deterministic, that blockchain network facilitating the smart contract code does not have sufficient information to make the decision. So decision about value flow based on the human behavior, events, or predictions. For example, like self-driving car, then type things. So that is the complete basic idea about the blockchain technology. What these four and why, how these four pillars are working, and why these four pillars is required in our blockchain network. Are you guys there, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. So till now, so now we are going to talk about to the why we need to blockchain. Do we really need to blockchain, or without blockchain we can be handle this whole system? We can be make it this situation, this application, any applications. So do we really need blockchain? First, we need to think about the really need any of the distinguished features of blockchain technology. We need to share data, store multiple writers, lack of trusted intermediary, and immutability. If we are required for the any application these four things, then we can say that yes, we are required, we need to the blockchain for the particular applications. So we have the stakeholders, consensus requirement, transaction transparency, uniform rules for all stakeholders, and data storage. These all things, if we needed for our applications, then we can use the blockchain technology in our some particular applications. So let's talk about the type of blockchain. There is a permissionless and permission blockchain. We talk about those things. So is permissionless is accessible at all members of the network and is available on any device. Every user can be accessed the code, verify the transactions, interact with others, and stay anonymous. Like that, Bitcoin, for example, is a permissionless. So permissioned blockchain is allow only authorized participants. All users have the roles and permissions, and the permissioned blockchain has rules that regulate transaction between network members. So this type of blockchain is great for managing the operation within the organizations. So these are some examples: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Waves. Everyone is equal. That is permissionless. And public, the private, we are need to think about this. Any private application is there or not. permission, we have to Sovereign, Ripple, EOS, some of more equal than other. These are also public, and the private we have to Ethereum, Hyperledger. We like the intranet, but blockchain is it there. So these are the some basic benefit of the blockchain technology. All updates to data and transaction must be verified by the other network. That is the transparency. So any user can check if the system is working correctly. Each transaction is confirmed by the verifiers who are peer users of the blockchain. That is called the transparency and validity. That is some mistakes. That is a validation. And the third one, we have to, despite the blockchain being a decentralized system with the high level of transparency, all transaction are and interaction between network members are anonymous. So, and last, we have to integrity. That is the blockchain guarantees there is no data has changed, no data has altered without the knowing of all the members of the node. So that means they have the integrity things. So that is the whole idea about the blockchain technology. So now we talk about to the what language and what tools do we need to develop this blockchain technology things. So blockchain programming language, as we know nowadays, is Solidity. These are the too much coming, is not that much famous, but yeah, whenever we talk about the blockchain technology development, so we using to the Solidity that developed by the Vitalik Buterin, who is the develop the Ethereum things, and that he's the developer friendly. Solidity is accessibility to JavaScript, infrastructure, debuggers, and other tools, and statically is typed and programming. It has the typed program, statically typed programming. So possibility of the inheritance properties is smart contract. So it will giving the more precise accuracy of this data from the blockchain implementation. If it's more easier way, we can create with this language Solidity. Second, we have to the Java is widely chosen for the building the sophisticated smart contract and decentralized app, easy for the memory cleaning, and is availability of ample of the libraries. Some of the best examples of blockchain solution is developed using to Java or NEM, IOTA, NEO, and Hyperledger Fabric. Second, we have to the third one, we can use the Python to develop this blockchain technology. So easy to learn, access to dynamic architecture, perfect for the both base and scripting approaches. And it has a Steam, Hyper Fabric, and Neo blockchain project. They are using this Python language too. We can also develop the JavaScript, Rust, C++. Those so much languages we have. C has Go, Simplicity, Ruby, and Erlang. These are the some languages are using to the developing this blockchain technology. We can develop things. So there is a blockchain, many platforms. There is already allow to developer to create a blockchain applications in the more conventional language like C++, Java, Kotlin, and JavaScript. And other languages are like Solidity and Simplicity are not that widespread till now. Yet and few blockchain application development companies can offer developers with the such expertise also. So these are the some blockchain technology programming languages and how those languages can be. So in here we can find out they have several languages we can use it, and some our traditional languages like Java, C++, C has, those are, and some are some new languages coming like Solidity, Rust, and this Erlang, these languages. So we can use those languages to develop the whole our blockchain technologies. These are programming languages, and it is easy, not that much hard. So next we have a topic to what kind of applications we can build using to the blockchain technology. So like we are talking to blockchain, so many applications, so many like cryptocurrencies and so many applications things and their languages, developing languages, but which type of application we are really need to use, or we can use it things, our blockchain. So what are the blockchain applications or decentralized applications? So we can say that it has a new transactions are the broadcast to all nodes, where each nodes collect more transaction into the block, and each node works on the finding the difficult proof of work for its block. And it is when node finds the proof of work that broadcasts the block to all nodes. So node accept the valid transactions, and its nodes express their acceptance of the block of working on the creating the next block in the chain and using to the hash of the accepting block as the previous hash. So these are the some decentralized applications way how can we use it to what are the decentralized applications in the block. So these are the some industries they are using to blockchain applications. The most popular categories in the blockchain applications, like we have to the first IoT startup. These are the Allround.com. These are the one company. Second, we have to the Sport Vote. This is the my company. I'm as a CTO of this company. So this company is a main target to be what we are doing in the within this company. We develop one decentralized or blockchain based application to organizing the game or sports of any kind of sports. For example, if you want to create a one cricket tournament, for that we are develop our for the organizer, for the players, for the team, everyone can be involved in this network, or even we are also involving to the our people who is the audience, and they can vote from their audience can vote for the man of the match, a man of the series of the any organization, and we can make those whole after when they are making this involving in the event, so they will get it the some benefits, some rewards also. So that is our main aim of this company. This is just a startup company of Sports Vote. So we are working on this. I'm working on this company. So our company are just developing this type of some organizing the sports event, and those event can be involved, but the not only for the not only for the team, that even audience also, even they can sitting at home, they can take a participate in this any sports. So that is the we are working on things. Second, we have gambling, that's Game Crowd. They are also using this type of blockchain based applications for their gambling purpose. Exchanges, they're using the Cryptotron is the one startup. There is a blockchain technology, they're providing the wallets and the Ethereum wallets for the cryptocurrencies point of view. They have and financial advisor enterprises. There's based on the blockchain. In real estate field, there's the first crypto estate that is providing the real involving in the real estate based on the blockchain technology. That is the CBDS, the Clinical Blockchain Data Science Company Incorporation, who is involved in the blockchain technology. Based on the blockchain technology, they develop the healthcare related applications. Music industry, Quorum, that is the music industry. The Quorum is the one music industry company. They are involved. They are built whole system, music system, music singer, composer, and who is involved in the one singing or singing application. That's all they can be involved in this network, and they can decide the applications, what type of music they're going to be launched. And these are the another. This one is also my company. We are working on the Vesla. That company is working to speaking about the mobile vehicle data vehicle data management. So currently vehicle are communicating each others. So those communication is how to going on those communication creating the lot of data, right? So how to manage those data, we are working on those field. So we have also our own coin, that is the West coin. That West coin we are using for the services purpose and any application purpose, like he went to for the petrol and then he get the some use the this West coin, and make it the reputation purpose also. So that our organization is making to the vehicular data management for this mobile vehicular data management things. So these are the some blockchain applications based companies. Those are in some particular specific field. They are working in a specific fields things. So there is a next, we have to blockchain platform like blockchain database, big blockchain DB, that is open source system. Start with the big data and distributed database, then adds the blockchain characteristics. We have chain core, Coda, Domus, Tower blockchain, Elements blockchain platform, Eris DB database database platform, that blockchain platform, Ethereum, Hydra chain, multi-chain, Hyperfabric, Hyperledger, Iroha, Hyperledger, Sawtooth, Lake. So these are some more blockchain platform. There we are, according to our application, we can build, we can access this Ethereum, Hyperledger, or any platform, and we can build our own applications things. So there's a several platform that is available free of cost also, and some payment also based also. So I just going to basic two more famous platform I'm going to talk about, that is Hyperledger and Ethereum. So Hyperledger is an open source collaborative created in advanced cross industry blockchain technology. It's global collaboration hosted by the Linux Foundation, including in the finance, banking, IoT, supply chain, manufacturing, and technology. Hyperledger addresses the important feature that is for the cross industry open source, open standard of the distributed ledgers. So how this work, that they have, these are the some Hyperledger project. Hyperledger Bureau, that is the premisable smart contract machine with a modular blockchain client built in the part 2 specification of the Ethereum virtual machine. Foundation of the developing plug and play solution with the modular architecture. We using to Iroha, Hyperledger Iroha. They are simple, easy blockchain framework designed for the incorporated with infrastructure project requiring the distributed ledger technology. Hyperledger Sawtooth, the modular platform for the building, deploying, and running the distributed ledgers. So that is the some Hyperledger project. Second, we have to the Ethereum alliances. Like Ethereum is developed by the Ethereum Foundation. That is, I talk about the Vermeet. That is that guy who's, I just forget his name again. Just previous slides I mentioned his name. So developed by the Ethereum Foundation and Swiss non-profit with the contribution from the individuals and organizations across the globe. So Ethereum is a decentralized platform that runs the smart contracts, application that run exactly programmed without any possibilities of the downtime and censorship fraud, or third-party interference. And its project was the bootstrapped via in Ether pre-sale during the August 2014. Fans are all around the world. And these are some tools of Ethereum tools, not some tools, the Ethereum tools that handle these things. User hold the secure Ether and other crypto assets built in the Ethereum. Write, deploy, and use the smart contract. Design and use your own cryptocurrencies and traceable token, and kickstart the project with the crowd sale. And here we talk about the Ether. So what is the Ether? Ether is the crypto fuel for the Ethereum network, and Ether is the necessary element for the operating the distributed application platform Ethereum. So developer who instead intend to build apps that will use the Ethereum blockchain need Ether, and the totally supply of Ether and its rate essence was decided by the donation gathered by 2014 pre-sale. So these are the some Ether these are the some talk about the platforms. Now talk about the what's going on, what type of project going on. So these are the some projects like Spotify, that is the users blockchain database, decentralized connection between Spotify, tracks, artists, and licensing agreement. Warrenter, the retail company that uses the blockchain to help customers access information on the product they bought and get services in the case the product is stopped working. IBM blockchain they use to help logistic companies and business with the long supply chain tracks. Medrix, these are for example for the healthcare one. And C currency, there is a trading platform for any kinds of cryptocurrencies. However, it's also support the traditional asset that can be translated into the as say currencies. So these are the some practices are going on nowadays. Second, we have these are some applications: consumer, manufacturing, technology, media, telecommunication, healthcare, life sciences, anywhere, every field we can use this blockchain technology according to our requirement. So these are some challenges of research challenges to and scopes. There is a nascent technologies, uncertainty, regulatory status, large energy consumptions, control, security and privacy, integration, concern, culture and adoption, cost, effective. So we have this every field we have the lot of scope for the research and the improve their challenges. There is the big challenges currently. What the big challenge is the storing same information in the multiple nodes. So that is also one challenging thing. Second things, when for the consensus algorithm going to involve, that time this whole transaction is going in the plain text. So that is also one challenging part of this. So currently I'm working on those things, like I'm using to the some algorithm, that homomorphic algorithm, to be when any node transmit any information in the network, so they will convert in the different mode. So they will change in their part, they will convert in the encryption form, and other nodes can be only source and destination can be access the original information in plain text, and other who involve in the node they verify based on their source nodes in source node validation things. So that's why we are using two homomorphic algorithms to apply that type of mechanism. So second, we have to let's get started to how to start the blockchain development. So these are some applications like business analysis. Business analyst extract the requirement expectation, business goals during an interview and create the technical specification. Designer, they depending on the complexity of design can take 8% to 20% of total development budget. Preparation, that is the preparation stage, consists of the setting up a development environment, APIs. Development, start the implementation of the project. Quality of insurance, before deployment of quality of insurance engineer runs the full regression test to check that everything's work correctly. And then deployment, this include update the libraries, framework and operating system, as well as the implementing the new features and making the changes to the application according to the requirement. And then to maintain the functionality and security, need to the update the app of the support new version of the operating system. So this is the whole development of any decentralized application. How can we develop and what is the steps it's going to involve. So we have development, we have the time, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So development of the blockchain applications, we have to first think about to clarify our idea, need to think about the idea, what we are require, why we are going to implementing, do the competitor research, look at the existing market and analyze what the solution there are, analyze our own options. There are 4 ways can be built the decentralized application: use an open blockchain for application, create a private network with the help of blockchain software. We can choose the BaaS blockchain as a service provider and integrate their cloud service, build your own blockchain network on the most suitable platform according for us. For example, which is the platform Ethereum, Hyperledger, Ripple, Stellar, anything, and start the development process things. Second, let's find out the how can we start that an application that use the smart contract and provide the user friendly interface to smart contract. We need to do the component files component is smart contract and files. We have the web server users interface, front end and back end. So write a smart contract in high level language, then we can compile, run the smart contract, the code, and then deploy in the smart contract to our blockchain platform, and then to create for the interactive web application with the smart contract. So decentralized application build the process. We have the smart contract, send the smart contract to compilation. We use the, for example, Solidity high level language. Then contract binary, that is smart contracts in front end, is contract to deploy, connect to with the nodes like Ethereum client, get Python Ethereum applications, and contract address to send back to the front end applications, that is JavaScript. And backend, we use again JavaScript and send the transaction to the contract. So this is the whole building process of the decentralized applications. So till that is the whole blockchain technologies and basic things. Now I'm going to just introduce one example how we are working and we are implementing our blockchain technology in an automotive cybersecurity field. So I just given the example about our applications. We are trying to implement this blockchain in this field. In that automotive cybersecurity means we are talking about to intelligent vehicles things. Because in our lab, when I was there, so we are developing self-driving cars. So we implementing to think about what type of security issues going to be happen. So how can we solve with the this blockchain technology? So the current challenges is a centralized authority, trust between machine and trust, because these vehicles are the same machine, that is self-driving car or self-driving vehicles. So they have some trustable issues. So message integrity, we required message integrity. They cannot going to be modified or changes message once the message comes in the vehicular environment, that communication environment. We require to store the whole information, data management. There is no privacy also because these are open system, right? The vehicle is working on the road, so that is open system. There is no privacy. Anyone can be hacked and can be change things. So this is the current situations where vehicular cloud, the vehicle are communicating to anything, easy to hack. There is no trust. Vehicle are communicating with infrastructure, then easy to hack. Vehicle to vehicle communication, there is also no trust between them. So they are like one vehicle is send us some message, another vehicle maybe they need to trust those message. So this blockchain solution will provide solve this all issues. They provide the decentralized distributed cryptography message with the signature, and this all things we can get it in the one blockchain implementation if we create our server as a blockchain based. So that is the easy way we can secure and we can solve this all issues. So that is our whole blockchain communication technology. Blockchain technology we use in the automotive field, AutoBT communication technology, that is using for here. You can see that all vehicles are connected with the blockchain server, and they are own self has their own servers computing field. So they are doing things. They are making to trust between each others. So AutoBT, we are using the security solutions. They have a shared ledger. They like that is the decent distributed ledger. We have availability, retainability, and traceability, confidentiality, data encryption, integrity will provided by the cryptography, digital signature. It will digital signature, or we can say that a smart contract is trust the negotiation process and final the contract, and trust is create the trustability, non-repudiations, and consensus provide to trustability, reliability, authentication, and authorization of the accessing or delivering the messages or data. So this is the whole process. There's a vehicle senders. There is a sender create the transaction, create the blocks. Transaction is distributed and validate via the cryptographic hash, and it will be crypto hashing. There is a blockchain servers. The transaction is committed to the blockchain and miners are rewarded, and that is comes in distributed database, and then receivers receive the transactions. So this is the here transactions means we are talking about to the some message transactions, message transmissions. not about to any some particular amount transactions or cryptocurrency manner. We are talking about to the message services, any some particular specific specific service based or a specific message broadcasting in within the vehicular network. So Autotrust-Bit environment we build in the one Yo blockchain, that is the Yonsei blockchain, where I was working with this on this project. So secure, trusted communication based on blockchain server. We store the vehicle hash ID, IPTP, IVTP, and communication details. We have generated the one proof of driving on behalf of proof of work and proof of stack. For the consensus purpose, we store the ledger, contract, and hash. So what we are doing, we are introducing the Yonsei blockchain server for the IVTP. IVTP means here we are talking to intelligent vehicular trust point, vehicle trust point. So what they are doing, so we are providing some crypto trust point. That means we are changing the crypto form, not currency. We didn't say that is currency. It's a crypto trust point that can be make it whenever we have any vehicles we are delivering, participating or doing the mining or verifying to any messages. That vehicle will receive some trust point from the which vehicle is the trust point from the vehicles who are senders. We can say that senders. So senders will be give to the some trust point to verify which vehicle is verified in the network to their messages or their transmissions things. So we receive those IVTP's benefit is with the based on those IVTP, he can be used though for the service purpose. They can go to petrol pump so that I have this much highest trust point, highest crypto trust point. So I am the most trustable vehicle and more validate vehicle. So I can get some services free of the service, was my car or was whatever service they are providing. Or they can use that trust point to when if anyone want to resell their vehicle, they can show what is their basic trust point. So based on their trust point, we can assume even though vehicle doesn't matter how much old, but if that vehicle is drive well and it get the maximum trust point, then vehicle price can be higher. And third, use of the IVTP, we can use those IVTP in insurance purpose. Like currently we are insured our vehicle for the whole year, but we didn't use we didn't drive whole year. We drive some particular times, like but we are paying for the whole year. So with the IVTP, we can show that we have this much trust point and we are driving this time. So I need to consensus or I can pay only for the driving amount of the insurance. So these are some benefit of the IVTP. So this is the blockchain structure of the sorry.
Sir, we are loaded with questions. So would you like to take it now, because we have less time in our hand?
Okay, I just finished this one. Then I will come back. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, sir. That's fine. Okay.
So this blockchain, this is the block creation, how to create the blockchains in this way in our vehicles. So for this, we did some simulation. So for our simulations is went to this way. So we implementing the specification of this computer and we use this implementation we did in the Python. So our AutoBT intersection, we use this intersection use case to implementing to our blockchain technology idea for the self-driving car. So for evaluation analysis, for example, currently we have this type of going on the transportation system. Based on the lighting, red light, green light, and yellow light, then vehicle is moving like that way. So, but when in these situations, we have to care about we have had some accident and some information is gonna be leaked that not is secured. So for this, we have proposed this our blockchain based server where vehicles are moving each others and they are connecting with the blockchain servers and they are sharing their information when they are coming on this intersection, and according to that they can control their speed and their speed and their acceleration to what type of going to use, how speed they are going to manage on this situation. And in here we don't require to any light system, traffic light. So that is our approach. We are trying to implement. We had implemented, simulated these things. So this is our simulation results. So in here we can see there's coming the vehicles, and each vehicle has some specific IVTP. So once vehicle are moving one place to another place, so who is going to be first on this cross this intersection, and those which vehicle is going to make it the decision, or we can verify it based on the time stamp. So those vehicles get the highest IVTP. They get the received IVTP from other vehicles. So here we cannot see, there's very small. There is a showing the IVTP transaction and all things. So last we have to conclude. I'm just going to conclude this whole talk. So we has talked about blockchain technology and current landscape of the blockchain development, enabling the new economy business models, improving resilience and security in transactional system, empowering the end users and improving trust in transactions. And we have some challenges for the data immutability. Consensus algorithm are too expensive, late of interoperability, and limited transaction size. So, and automotive cybersecurity challenges. Just we talked to implementing how to use this blockchain technology in automotive field. And these are some research scope as I talk about. We have to plain text transmission in the blockchain network, and the storing the same information to multiple nodes. So these are some weaknesses we need to do. We need to improve those things. So that is I'm going to conclude this whole talk, and just I'm going to introduce some my books I already written in this book. This is for the Industry 4.0 related book, and one are the industry point of view, and another one is the technology based Industry 4.0, how going to be use it. And I'm the chief editor in chief of this Springer blockchain technology book series, and IEEE learning network. So I have automotive cybersecurity. If you guys want to more know about how to use the blockchain technology in secure automation, so you guys can see this online lecture in IEEE. And this is all about myself. So let's meet. Yeah. Now, thank you for listening, and let's take a question answer.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. This was a very informative talk, I should say, because we have lots and lots of questions in our Gmail, YouTube, and FBooks and FB streaming. So that is why I will ask one by one. First question was from Khodib Majumdar, who is asking why the term is like disruptive technologies or innovation.
Sorry. Can you repeat? Why?
Yeah, why the term is like disruptive technologies or innovation?
I missed that keywords. First keywords. What?
Disruptive
which
technology.
Which technology?
He is saying that why the term is like disruptive technology or innovation. I think he was just asking that,
okay, what is the terms of disruptive technology, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Terms of disruptive technology, that disruptive technology means that technology, some technology who's going to be change the life or change to make some new technology that can make the very huge differences in the current time and future time. That's why we are using this disruptive word to use to that disruptive means they are giving us a big change, a big evaluation or revolution that's some particular point. So we are using for the data for the blockchain technologies as a disruptive technology, because as we see that blockchain has so many applications. In every application we can use it, not industry point of view, but yeah, in some real life, in personally we cannot, but yes, for the wherever we need some gathering and some grouping and those things we are required, we can use the blockchain technology. And this disruptive word are using to any technology who's going to give the big breakthrough. That's why we are using that disruptive word. I think you get it. Yeah.
So much. I hope Shubhadeep got his answer. Next question is from Deborsi Basu, who is asking, sir, the distributed ledger is blockchain technology causes storage of transaction details in distributed blocks. Does it cause the data redundancy problem? And how a node can avoid unnecessary information if it has limited storage capacity in blockchain?
Yeah. So for this, that is, as I mentioned, is based on applications. This you talking about the data redundancy. That's true, because several node has the same informations, right? That's in my talk I also mentioned this is the big challenge. We need to change it, those things. So that's my currently I just give the some only brief introduction. We are using two homomorphic algorithms. What we are trying to do. So when like I am the one sender and I'm sending like in this online lecture, there is a lot of students and lot of people are listening current now, right? So if I'm going to verify each and if I'm going to send this information, so everyone going to store the same information, right? Same whole PPT. So what we are trying, like if I want to share my information with only you, like Suchitra, I just want to share my information with only you, but we are we need to verify it from the other network nodes, right? For the consensus purpose. So in that case, what I'm speaking, what I'm sending to Suchitra, that will be go for encryption form. So other people cannot find it. So that is our real value, real transaction will be stored in only me and sender and receiver. But other people, they can just verify me that yes, these are the legal node. These are the genuine information. He is the genuine person that can be share the genuine information between these two nodes. So that is the big research challenge we are trying to. I'm just talking about one applications. So if we this homomorphic algorithm, if you learn and those things, try to more find out the more application, how can we modified this, implement this concept in there. So I think that is also a big problem gonna be solved in the data redundancy in whole network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is from Durvada Chattaraj. Could we encapsulate code or program into blockchain? Is this process termed as smart contract?
Is that's true. We can write a code and encapsulate within a smart contract, but that must be the smart contract must be, as I mentioned, that there is a rule and regulation about to the whole network, right? So those code, that code in the smart contract code condition is not gonna be increased more than 200 lines. So it is a very compact and encapsulate within the network, within the smart contract.
Okay. Next question is from Anupam Bhattakur. He is saying that since the distributed ledger is increasing with the inclusion of blocks, so how the small devices will keep the ledger to maintain the blockchain locally in the system having the constraint of memory?
Yes. So for this, I can just what application I used. And that's why I'm telling that if you guys get the time, then you go to visit this using blockchain technology in secure autonomous lecture. So in here, what we are trying that vehicles have also very limited memories. They cannot store the whole system things. So in this our applications, what we are divided blockchain in the two form. One is the local dynamic blockchain. Second is the main blockchain. So main blockchain, I'm talking about in our automotive applications point of view. So in the main blockchain, when there is a event has happened, is stored the information event based, and the local dynamic blockchain is the overriding the information. Is not going to store the whole information from the lifelong. We just use for those information and they have a very big huge congestion, so they can be divided in the branches. That we all did these things in our applications. So yes, if we are talking about in the IoT devices and those type of application devices, so as I mentioned, based on our application, we can change our systems. We can make that limited time of the data going to be stored, and those data are just overriding. We have limited space, then some data is just we can make it like 1 month data. After 1 month, the data is start the overriding. So another way we can do manage the whole for the small devices can be used for this application in IoT and those applications.
Okay, sir. Next question is consensus algorithm is used for choosing miner into the P2P network?
Consensus algorithm?
Is used for choosing miner into the P2P network?
No, consensus algorithm not going to choose. The miner is the any node who can, like as a in the Bitcoin concept, when any transaction is comes to in the network, they comes with some mathematical problem. So other nodes are start. Other nodes means who is the within the network, they are start to solving that mathematical problem, and who did this first, that node is as a behave like a miner. So there is no one going to choose to anyone. They is all based on the computational power and their mathematical solving problem in the doing the for the consensus purpose. So if any node they did first solve that mathematical problem which comes with the transactions, that node is going to be a miner like that. Yes.
Okay, sir. The next question is it always required to have a global consensus for local transaction?
Global consensus for local transactions.
Yes.
As I mentioned that this is the based on application. Like if you are trying to local transaction within your particular specific group, then you don't need to find the don't require for the global one. But yeah, if you are open for worldwide one, yeah, then that means who is the anyone gonna be sit anywhere in the worldwide, they're going to be involved in your transaction, and he going to verify things. So it's depend. You can give that permission and permissionless. Those type of transactions, you can divide those type of transactions. Like permissionless, you can make it the global one. Local one, and permission you can create the global one. So for the global people, if you want to join to your group, your verify your transaction, then it need to take a permission with your local groups members. If they are verified, then they can join it. Yeah, I think get it. Thanks. Hello.
Yes, sir. I think there is some network problem on the part of Sricheta. So, yeah.
So next.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah. So I think we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
So the next question is, since blockchain is a decentralized and distributed network, so who verify the nodes in the public blockchain before being the part of this architecture, and who distribute the incentive, like which node will get how much incentive for mining or for any other reason?
So in here there is a two question: who is going to give the mining and who is going to be involved in the network, right? Who is going to decide, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like first question, who going to decide? That I mentioned, like if I'm going to create a node and I have that is smart contract, my node has a my node group has some rule and regulation. If anyone is agree with that rule and regulation, they can involve in my network. There's no problem. And who is going to give who going to do the mining, right? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question again?
Yes, sir. So who verifies the node in the public blockchain before being part of this architecture, and who distributes the incentives, like which node will get how much incentive for mining for any other reason?
Yeah, for the verification case, if I'm agree with any rule and regulation of the any nodes or any group, that means I can involve. If I'm not, if I'm involving that group, that means I am agree with that systems, that the systems rules and all transaction what is going on there. And for the mining purpose, as I mentioned, like if someone what transaction is going in the group, that network, so there is some mathematical problem based on that solving the fast computer, which machine has the fast computation, that machine going to be calculate faster of that, solve that mathematical problem, then that machine is be as a miner, and that machine will be rewarded by the senders or senders, like who are then by the based on the rule and regulation of those smart contract. So that machine is rewarded by the senders. So like I want to send something to in India, some particular persons. So others member are network, they are verifying, and who has a high computational power, they verify me to, okay, I'm the legal one. So what my transaction is going there, so I will reward within with that transactions to that guy who is who is doing the mining in the process. So, but
Okay.
is a depend on the also to how to compute and how to calculate those reward things. So reward is also like, if I have a make the group and I mentioned that, okay, if I will do the mining, then I need to pay this much percentage of your transactions. So that much, if you are agree, then that is I can do it. Otherwise, no. Okay.
Okay. Sir, then another interesting question is how blockchain maintains trust among all the nodes in the P2P network.
How to blockchain maintain
Trust among all the nodes in a P2P network.
trust, right? P2P network. So trust is, as I mentioned, is a trust like we don't know any in the network who is involved. We cannot access them. They have some hash ID, crypto ID, and based on those hash ID, they are involving in the network. That means, and we are also giving the reward and paying the reward things. They are for the verification purpose. So that means who is giving the same connectivity, and we are agree with the more than 51% of the members are agree for the some particular transactions. That means they have a highest share of trust, highest share of the validation. So that means is automatically gonna be trusted. And regarding the peer to peer, they are talking, their transaction is going one to one, peer to peer, but they had verified those peers from the other members of the node. So then other members of the node that don't know anything, they don't know about to those peers. So that means they are believing that, okay, these are unknown guy and these are the not third party, but these are the neutral party. They don't have any benefits, any losses. They are just agree with these transactions. That's why they're creating the trust between the peer to peer in the blockchain.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. Which blockchain platform is useful to build applications specific to medical domain?
In medical domain, like Ethereum is also using current time, but just I just can say that we can create our own blockchain. Just recently I have to publish the patent about this healthcare issue. Healthcare, we are sharing the information between patients and doctors with the involving with the family members and making the stakeholders of the hospital's employees. So what the information is sharing between them, these are the particular some closed network, they are can be shared. So we coming to main questions that what platform we gonna use. So I think Ethereum is the best option, but is the depend on the what type of this like in healthcare, there is so many things. We need to check about the patients, we need to check about those testing, and we need to meet the doctors. Which point of view we are going to create according to our applications. So any platform like Hyperledger or Ethereum, both are is okay, and both can be supports for that things.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And the next question is a similar type of question. Which type of platform is useful to build automobile applications? I think sir has already answered this, but sir, if you'd like to take this question.
Yeah, for the automobile sectors, we can use like Ethereum. In my case, I am also using for the automotive field. So I didn't use any platform. I just try to implement in the I'm just try to take the features of the blockchains, all 4 features, and try to implement in the system. But as my company Vestala, that company, we are using to manage the data of vehicle communication data, those things on the Ethereum based platform. So I think Ethereum is the good options.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And Or another question is blockchain fault tolerant? That is resistant to network or device fault?
Fault tolerance, like that is, I didn't went that through that much, but I don't think so they have some fault tolerance things. The system, as I mentioned, like blockchain can be modified according to our applications, right? So what application I'm going to use, according to that we can change the features, we can change the network size, and we can make the network size, we can make our algorithm consensus method mechanism smart contract, then we can modify it according to the our applications. So that if they have some more specific, some security restrictions things, then they have some more fault tolerance and those resistance about to some devices. But till now, if we are aware that according to our applications, according to our implementations, then I don't think so they have some any resistance of the any devices.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And one final question. So some of the attendees wants to know if they can get the your presentation. So that will be helpful for them.
As I heard, this presentation is already recorded
Yes,
on
yes,
YouTube, and
yes,
live is going on live Facebook.
yes,
So
sir.
you guys can be accessed anytime, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you particularly if you want those things, then you can contact me about this my mail ID, so I can connect with you and then do further whatever. If you anyone wants to particular research guidance, anything, any field like in blockchain and those fields, so yeah, I'm available. So there's my email ID, they can contact me directly.
Okay. Thank you so
I can
much,
help
sir.
as much I can do. Yeah, thank you.
So everyone can note down sir's email ID, and you may reach out to sir, as sir said, if you want to discuss anything with sir related to blockchain or this kind of work. So yeah, Shrikshita, please take over.
Yes, Aishwarya. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us today, sir. We have something for you. So, will you please stop sharing your screen so that we can share and show you?
Okay. Yes. Is it stopped, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in the corner where it is written that you are presenting, so I think you have to click there and stop presenting. You'll get an, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Aishwarya. So, will you share? Please share your screen.
Yeah, just give me one moment.
Okay. Okay, sir. So this is for you, sir, from on behalf of IEEE Computer Society Student Branch Chapter IEEE Kharagpur section. Would like to thank Dr. Madhusudan Singh, sir, for delivering this beautiful talk. And that is why, sir, this is a virtual session, so we have a token of gratitude for giving you, sir. We will send it to you from our section very soon. So thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us and
Thank you
accept
very
our
much. Thank you very much.
gratitude,
It's
sir.
really nice. Looks very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. As it's a virtual, we cannot do anything more than
Yeah, I
this.
can
So that's
understand. That's okay. No
all
problem.
memento. So thank you, sir. And also, I would like to request all of the volunteers of our IEEE Computer Studies Student Branch Chapter to turn on your camera. We will do a small photo session to make it as a very good memory. So all of the volunteers, come on, and participants, if you want to join, you can join too. So we will take a photographs. Thank you. So turn on your camera, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sukanya, I would like to request you to take the photographs. When you will be ready, please let us know.
Okay, start. Yeah, everyone is ready, right?
Yeah, I think everyone is ready.
Okay, start. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
Okay,
sir, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very
for
much.
today. Yes, sir, and we hope that we can invite you again and again in our campus. Also, we want to listen from you in person also, because there are so many questions we cannot ask everything here because it's a very short session. So
Yes,
I would like to.
That's okay, no problem. That just if you have so many questions, just can email me, then I will respond
Yes,
by
yes,
email.
sir,
Also. No
definitely,
problem.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It is very interesting topic. Even Bitcoin and blockchain is very much popular nowadays. So that is why I think everyone is very much curious about the topic. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us today. And now I want to conclude here. And all of the participants, thank you for joining today. It was a
Thank you very
beautiful
much.
session.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Yes.